Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. And yes, as promised, it's just not the Premier League, just not Chelsea. It's a fan channel for all to see, like I always say. But today, finally, we have Uncle Sharma in the house, Rahul, because it is Serie A talks that we're doing end to end. So, Rahul, first of all, it's been a great pleasure to have you. It's been a long wait, but how's your summer been?
No, it's been interesting summer definitely if you're a Serie A fan, and I appreciate you for all the work that you do to spread the word of Serie A as well, or we like to call it within the Serie A community, Serie As, as we lovingly call it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yes, people, again, we'll be conversing in Hindi, English, whatever suits all of us based on the chat as well, because we all want more people to come on. So, yes, it's at a slightly earlier time than usual, but I just wanted everyone to get involved in this because it is, Saria, like, Rahul said, a lot of conversation that we'll do. And we are waiting for Fateh. He'll be joining us in a few minutes as well, like, the Seria expert in the house as well. Roman Abramovich in the house. Okay. Always good to see you. Uh, uh, I'm great. I'm sure that you are good as well because yes, by the way, there is a great cricket match going on. I'm kind of watching it side by side. But we have Predator XHD in the house. Thank you for joining, Aditya Anil Kumar. Congrats. Yes, absolutely. The Commonwealth Games going on. That's what I'm watching as well. But yes, absolutely AC Milan. And here it's going to be fun. So me being an AC Milan supporter, you have Rahul and Fateh kind of. So I'm like not the majority today for sure. I thought of getting a Juventus fan as well, but I thought that'll be a bit too
Ooh.
much. As in AC intro will be a nice one, but we'll be discussing about Juventus with Napoli, whatnot. We'll be discussing all the clubs as much as possible, and let's go. So first and foremost, and this is something that I've been waiting for entire summer. Even Fateh has not got that. So I spoke to Fateh Rahul before it happened, right? The
Mm.
transfer that we're talking about, Romelu Lukaku, right? So the fact that he's finally moved back to Inter, what is your take in the entire thing? I know Fateh had taken it, he did tell me, but I would like to know and you to share. क्या लग रहा है आपको कि what was it? Yeah, Romelu Lukaku was actually really loved Inter, and that's the reason he said, or simply he didn't do it enough in Chelsea. He didn't try enough. He was just like, no, let me go the easy way out. I know Inter, and that'll probably they love me as well. What is your opinion there?
Yeah, I think it's a combination definitely of yeah. Oh, sorry, did I go? My screen just went black there.
Yeah,
Um,
all good.
No, yeah, I think it's just a combination of those things. It seemed like he kind of gave up on his Chelsea career up after like November, December. It seemed like he already had
Exactly.
already
Hardly
had
what 9 games or something like that. I remember that.
yeah. I
Terrible.
mean, obviously those early injuries and the COVID didn't help him, and Tuchel and all that kind of stuff. Clearly, they didn't get on. But yeah, it looked like there was no other choice on his plate. Like it was just like, just send me back to Inter. And obviously, us as Inter fans, we obviously you guys like probably dislike him more than anyone right now in the footballing world. But for us Inter fans, it's just I've never seen a guy like even outside of Inter like twerking for us like so badly, like for a club. Like he was wanting us so bad. I've never seen that, and like being quite disrespectful to Chelsea as well, really. So I was like shocked when that interview first came out, the one with Sky Italia. Um, and then yeah, I was kind of mixed the feelings in terms of bringing him back at the beginning, like back in December, January, because Dzeko for us Dzeko was still doing good. Then afterwards, Dzeko's legs and age caught up with him, and he started not playing that good. And then I was just like, please bring him back, whatever it takes. If you can do it, just bring him back. And then lo and behold, your ownership situation, all that kind of stuff, all kind of played, helped us out. And then yeah, he's here on a loan, and then see how long he stays. But I'm really happy that Big Rom is back, baby. He's back.
That's fine. As in good riddance, man. For me, as in good riddance. For you, it's great. To have him back because he feels at home. Absolutely, that's something that we can understand as well. How an Inter fan Lukaku coming back your squad exactly. That's what they want. We were discussing from the last 5 minutes. But again, whoever's joining, I know a couple of people have just joined. So again, whoever's joining, please do not forget to like the stream so that more people are notified. And again, not just subscribe to our channels, also subscribe to Uncle Sharma. Highly recommended. I always say that, but now that he's all here, you can see what content he has. Okay, Fateh is trying to join, but I don't think Fateh, I'm able to see you. So I think there is probably a tech issue at Fateh's end. Fateh, if you can just come back. and then maybe we can go for it, because again, until the camera is on, I won't put Fateh on screen because of what happened in the past. Pretty sure that's not going to happen. But anyway, Lukaku already in Inter, Kepa going to Napoli, and Werner maybe heading to Juve. And exactly, we'll be speaking club by club. We'll be covering all the clubs in Italy for sure as much as possible. So do stick on. And again, if you guys can share the stream, brilliant. Let us have more people in. And yes, Fateh finally is here. Hey Fateh, what's up? कैसे हो?
Yo, Ankit, what's up?
All good, all good. Okay, Fateh came and I don't know, for some reason I think the internet went off at Rahul's end. But anyway, Rahul's going to join us in a minute as well. So Fateh, I was just talking to Rahul about, obviously we didn't discuss in detail after the Lukaku saga kind of got completed, so that got completed. But generally speaking, as in we'll start with Inter. I know that you might say that I'm biased यार, AC Milan के तरफ biased too. लेकिन क्या लगता है भाई, इंटर मिलान का क्या समर क्या रहा है, और do you think the transfers that Inter was able to make, not able to make, well, is it something that you're satisfied with? How much are you rating Inter's transfer window? And if you could just sum it up for me.
I think if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably go with maybe 6 or 6.5 out of 10. Because all summer long, I think, since last season, everybody was talking about Bremer, especially since January when he really sort of, everybody started noticing him. A lot of Inter fans said, look, we have to absolutely get Bremer, and there should be no way that our rivals get Bremer. And so to sort of being linked to him, for him having agreed or at least have some sort of pre-agreement with Inter and then to fail to convert that was horrible. I mean that, and then you lose him. You lose the best defender to your Serie A rivals who make the Delict transfer happen ASAP. They get the money that they were looking for, and then they just go in and they hammer Inter out of that deal. I mean, hats off to Juventus. But it made us look really bad. And also Dybala, like I told you in the last show, if because of Lukaku we miss out on Dybala, and that's exactly what's happened. And we missed two fantastic opportunities. So I'm just getting Lukaku back, and I'm looking at the market. We've lost Perisic. Gosens is not really having the best of pre-seasons. So I mean, I think it's a step down. And I think Perisic was our MVP last year. So you've lost your MVP because you don't want to spend the extra 1 or 2 million on his wages,
Got
and
it, got it.
and we spent 25 million on Gosens in January. Now imagine if we'd spent that money on Bremer, and right now Juve would have been the ones who would have been looking like they've got eggs on their faces. So it's been a bad market for Inter.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Obviously, being a bad market, but आप बोल सकते हो Chelsea, कहीं पास भी नहीं है. Definitely, we are on the way. Our transfer market is just kind of bigger, just last couple of weeks ago. But again, we have Rahul back in the house again. People watching again, I repeat, do like the stream, do share the stream so that we have more people. Yes, it's a little bit early today, but that's the idea. There's lots to discuss about Serie A, and again, for a matter of fact, I'm telling you, even last season, people, Serie A for me, it is the most competitive league. Simply put, I don't think there's any other league there, even including English Premier League. I'm genuinely meaning it. Trust me on that. But again, Rahul, so we were just discussing about Inter's transfer rating. So Fateh is given a 6.5 out of 10. What would you say? What have been the misses, and what is your rating?
Yeah, I think it's sorry about the internet, by the way, but yeah, I think it was good. It was a good start. For once we got like our business done early. So we got 5-6 signings done early, Belanova, Aslani, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku coming in. So it was kind of looking good. By the end of June, start of July, we had all these guys in, but we knew, like as Inter fans, we knew there was a kick in the nuts somewhere coming. And I thought it was going to be Skriniar, like it looked like. I thought he was going to PSG, and he still might, but let's see what happens with that. But he's still here, so for that reason, I'm still keeping positive. But then obviously, I think Fateh, I just missed it, but it seemed like he was talking about the Bremer, Dybala fiasco. But I think if you follow the transfer news and stuff, then it's definitely that Inter took a L on those two. But I think if you live under a rock and you just look at what happened, like in terms of what we brought in and what has gone out as of now, I think it's like 7.5 out of 10, and it all hinges on Skriniar staying. I think if Skriniar goes, I don't even think they're
Okay,
gonna go.
let's put it there. Let's put it this way. Rahul, मतलब मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ ना, it like Skriniar has been linked even to Chelsea. There's no
Yeah.
secrets there. We have been linked to every centre back possible, and then Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and other clubs come in. Even we are interested. That's what happens in the last month and a half. But talking about Skriniar, as in 59 million pound is what the price that we are talking about. From what I hear, PSG have probably not even got close, somewhere close to 50 million. But on the other hand, I also heard that Belanova has been good in preseason, and obviously he's somewhat of a new player. So do you see Belanova kind of doing the job in right wing, and maybe Dumfries is available? Fateh knows my love for Dumfries, because we were also linked with Dumfries, so is Man United. So do you think Inter can do with Dumfries going away, because he might be available for a little bit cheaper, obviously, compared to Skriniar?
Yeah, to me, I mean, out of all the guys, we know that we have to make this 60 plus million net transfer income by June 2023, and we have to make that somehow. And I think out of all the guys, out of Lautaro, out of Barella, or Brozovic, Skriniar, like those four to me, like the untouchable guys. So
Okay,
Dumfries is just outside though, so I wouldn't be against if we have to sacrifice
interesting.
someone for it to be Dumfries. I'm not the biggest fan. Like I like him because he's like quite passionate, and he's like was a captain at PSV.
Yeah,
He's
he gets in
strong.
the box, bro. As in that's the best part
Yeah,
about Dumfries, right? Because I know
but
he's not going to be
he's
Hakimi.
not
Like we
techy. He's
can't.
not technical. He doesn't. He's a bit clunky.
Yeah, I get it. I get what he's saying. But yeah, Fateh, same question to you now. About Dumfries, like, would you be okay with Dumfries leaving? Because the fact is, we might talk about Wesley Fofana and the likes. Those guys are again even north of what Skriniar costs, right? So Chelsea might end up getting a Miley or a Dumfries from the Italian league, and maybe we might just go Reece James as the right centre back. What do you think about that?
No, see, it made sense for Inter to sell either Skriniar or Dumfries and then get in Dybala and Bremer. Now that our targets have gone, and since the deadline of 60 million is next summer, I don't see the sense in sort of selling even Dumfries now, because who are the alternatives? I don't think Bellanova's looked good. I think Aslani is the one who's sort of impressed us in preseason. It's not Bellanova. So, I mean, who are the wing backs that we can get? And, I say this to Inter fans and they think I'm trolling. The only name I can come up with is Lazzari, and he was only good 2 years ago under Simone Inzaghi. I remember when they were making that push for the league title. He was good, but he's a liability in defense. Imagine you lose Skriniar, and then there's a Lazzari on the right wing back scene. I mean, it's a mess. So I think right now, for the market to be good, I think we keep the squad as is and then make the sales in January after the World Cup. Who knows? Dumfries may have a great World Cup, and Chelsea might bid 60 million for him, which means he ends up at Barcelona for 70 million in January. You know
Oh
how that
no,
works,
man!
Ankit.
No, but
So,
you can't sell a starter in like January though. You can't like change the starters in January.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
have to make
but I
that
think
June.
this
Try to make
this
that in
season,
June.
yeah, but I think this season we might actually have a proper January market where a lot of people start moving after the World Cup. So, maybe this is just one of those off seasons. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
World
I
Cup.
think make
World Cup gets you more names. Pretty sure, like all of us know that World Cup gets you a lot of names, and you
yeah.
never
Yeah,
know. This
yeah, yeah.
January market will be crazier. I agree there, but I think Rahul's got a point. Like Rahul, coming back to this comment about the as a financial situation. Pretty sure Inter Milan, like any club in Milan right now, even being a Milan supporter as well, I can say that there is an issue still when it comes to financials. I don't think you can kind of spend much. So, what is the kind of cap? Is it because that you're looking at loan players, or Skriniar sale is because of the the financial situation? What is it? Is there a debt? Do you know about any kind of situation regarding financials?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite well known that Inter, like, there's assuming the owners of Inter, they took out this 275 million euro loan two seasons ago now, I think, or last season. And yeah, that massive percentage of interest on that, I think, is like 10-11%, which is like you wouldn't even take a mortgage out on that interest rate. So it's crazy high, and you have to be paid back by 2024. So that was because they can't at the moment. I don't know if they can't, or they are not allowed, or they just physically can't inject money into the club at the moment. They haven't injected money into the club for a couple of years now. There's not been any capital injection, so they're trying to run the club like self-sufficiently. So they're trying to the only way that they're able to make buys at the moment is by selling, so like player trading. And yeah, so because they can't inject any capital, they're trying to make these plus 60 million every summer. Last year, obviously, we were able to do it because of the Lukaku Hakimi all in one go.
That was the master plan, bro. That was the master plan. Trust me. We all know that. Given the number that he's got, but anyway, jokes apart. Why does Inter does not do good in Champions League? Probably Rahul has answered that just in front of you, because you have to inject cash constantly, whether you like it or not. The other clubs in Europe are probably doing it. Serie A clubs have not been doing it. Yes, Milan did it for a while, but then scouting was totally haywire. Let's not go there. But with Inter Milan, do you think it's just about scouting and just about basically buying players, or is the fact that maybe even like for instance Conte was brilliant, but he's not like a cup coach really? Uh, was it more to it, Rahul? What do you think of them not being at that level in Champions League in the last almost a decade right now?
Yeah. I mean, I think in the last year we were quite unlucky because we got Ajax in the draw. Then we ended up with Liverpool. I think we would have beat Ajax, especially how we played against Liverpool. Like, I think we played really well against Liverpool both legs, and in the end, we only went out by 1 goal. So we got unlucky with the draw, and we had like every year we have had like the group of death pretty much, apart from last year. So we've been a little bit unlucky on the draws, but yeah, it is that like just. If you want to compete in Europe, you need to have like 2 squads. And at the moment, like we've got a very good starting 11, or last few seasons we've had very good starting 11s, but we don't really have the subs to come in to like rotate in Europe and challenge on like 3 different fronts. Coppa Italia, Champions League, and Serie A. Like our squad's probably a little bit thin for that. So yeah, I think at the end it does come down to the money aspect as well. But yeah, Conte as well. He's got. Yeah, some Inter fans say that he threw the Champions League just so he could focus on Serie A. So I don't know
Wow.
about that.
You know what? That used to happen back in the day, even with us as well. And
No,
we
but
will
but
we'll
the
talk about Spurs. Yeah, yes, Fateh,
No,
please.
but the squad part is absolutely right. Even now, I think the starting 11 that we have, it's good enough to sort of challenge at least on for one trophy.
Yeah,
Even if it's just the Scudetto, the starting 11. It was the same last year too. The problem was the moment we sort of benched, the moment we didn't have Brozovic against Sassuolo and those teams, I think against Genoa away, we just fell apart. So
Yeah.
we've tried having a bench this year with Aslani, but I don't think he's ready just yet. So it's the same problem that we had last year that we're going to face this year. We're going to have 11 to 14 good players, and then beyond that, there's really nothing. And there's not much you can do in Europe, in the Coppa Italia, and even in the league now, because our rivals have really strengthened this year.
Yeah.
We have still the same problems. So I don't see how we've really improved in that one aspect that we needed to take a step up.
I'm guessing again, like, just as neutral or as an opposition fan, you can say that the fact I know that there were comments about Sanchez, getting to be offloaded, but technically you still have Dzeko, right? You still have Dzeko, you still have Sanchez, you still have Correa, who I think me and Fateh both have rated a lot of times in the channel. So there are people there, so I can see a lot of goals coming in. But the fact is. Aploka, I think let me just pull up what has happened. I think in the club friendlies, I know it's just pre-season, but you've just won one game with 2 draws and 1 loss. So coming back to Rahul, as in what have you seen different? Is there anything different in the tactics, or just the fact that as in Lukaku's coming back, and of course Belanova has played more. I think on the right wing back, has there been something missing tactically, or something needs to change from Inzaghi? You think?
well, honestly, I've not really seen much difference, to be honest. I missed
Okay.
yesterday's one. I'm gonna rewatch it, but I haven't really seen too much difference. Like obviously, Lukaku going from Dzeko to Lukaku is a big difference. Like we've got a lot more pace on the counter attack. Like there's been a few goals that we've created that you already like we couldn't do that last year. Even Correa is probably the quickest one of our strikers,
Yeah.
but even he doesn't have that Lukaku type of pace. So that gives us a different dimension. But yeah, Lukaku and Lautaro, man, those two just have that connection. Like as soon first friendly that there was them two doing like 1-2 straight away, like they never left each other. Like they just have that connection, which is just one very rare in modern football that you play with these like a two proper strikers together. So it seems like it's going back to pretty much like Conte's football. I want to see whether Inzaghi still tries to play like a higher line, defensive line, because I don't think, like that's what we wanted Bremer for. I don't think De Vrij can cope with a high defensive
Oh,
line.
De Vrij. You know what? He was also, I think, offered to clubs, but then finally, I think no one probably wanted him. They probably wanted Skriniar or Bastoni, and then they decided, okay, no, let's just keep De Vrij. No point, because in the three the back, he's still good in the central position, but he's like, as in, I know he's kind of very experienced, so cannot just compare. But like we used to have a Christensen, right? Christensen was he's a very good player when he plays, in the central position of three the back.
Mm-hmm.
But once he kind of goes like, right center back, left center back, man, the guy is like, wow, he's easily beaten. And I think De Vrij is probably the same in my opinion,
Yeah,
watching a lot
he's
of Dutch football.
exposed
But
a little
again,
bit.
absolutely, absolutely. And here we've got a new member. So first of all, thank you for coming on. Being a member absolutely helps. And again, not only Almighty Blues FC and Almighty Sports Plus, do support our panels channel as well. That is Uncle Sharma, brilliant channel. Again, it is tagged in the description below and always helps. And of course, for members out there, we have announced that the moment we get to around 25 members, we will certainly plan something big. So hopefully we'll have something going. But again, there are a lot of benefits. So definitely DM me and we can discuss about it. Really think Dybala, Tammy, Zaniolo will be the most exciting front three in Serie A, fully fit. Again, we'll come to Roma. You know what? Let's actually shift to Roma, because pretty sure all three of us are Jose Mourinho fans. Rahul, even you, right? All three of us are. He's a Chelsea and a Inter Milan legend, man. So come on, we've got to be. But Roma is doing madness. I know I'll come to AC Milan as well, my club. But Roma is doing madness. For me, probably they can be one of the dark horses. And yes, we'll come to Inter Milan as well. But Fateh, the fact that I don't know, Matic and Mourinho, they are probably father and son, man. Just like Essien was in maybe Mourinho Part 1. Matic is that to him. He's got Matic, and I think he's got Shelik, who's not a very bad right back from Lille. I think he's a decent right back from what I know, because we played them and he looked quite impressive to me. And of course, Dybala has come with Zaniolo already being there, with Pellegrini already being there. So now they have a proper squad. Fateh, क्या बोलोगे भाई, रोमा का कहाँ आने वाला है?
So I think with Zaniolo, there might be a move happening. I mean, I don't know whether Juve are still interested, but it was said that Zaniolo was going to go to Juve. A part of that money was likely to come to Inter. So let's wait and watch what happens there. But yeah, I mean, you've seen the way the whole Dybala narrative shifted. There was that one phone call from Mourinho, and the manner in which the Roma fans have taken to him. So yeah, I think there's a lot riding on Dybala. What happens if he gets injured? A lot of people are looking at Roma's injury record, and they're like, well, it's not really the best place to go to. So I mean, I think that's something that you have to look at. Roma weren't very good last year. I mean, I know that you and I saw the Conference League. We were rooting for them. That was beautiful to watch. But this was also a season where they conceded 6 to Bodo. Have they fixed that defense? I think there's still question marks about that. If they lose Zaniolo, then basically it's a straight swap. Dybala plays in the Zaniolo role. Is it good enough? I think the name that you forgot is Wijnaldum. If they do get Wijnaldum in
Oh,
midfield,
Wijnaldum, man, if he comes, wow,
yeah.
that's
So I mean, if that also happens, then that midfield is looking good. I think Jose Mourinho should be fighting for a top 4 spot. I don't know whether they can win the league or not. If they do not care about the Copa, if they do not care about the Europa League, then why not? Because I think if Dybala's fit for those 25, 30 games, the 30 games that if he can give them, why not? I think it can happen. But yeah, I mean, is Matic still the same Matic that he was in 2017,
no,
18?
he's probably not. But if
Yeah,
first,
so
again, no disrespect. I think the way that Roma play, I think he can
yeah,
he can do a role. Yes, and of
yeah,
course they have, I think, Vertut as well. If so, they have options there. And Spinazzola is back. People, I think he was already back, but I think now that he's back in the second season after that long-term injury,
yeah,
you can see a bombing Spinazzola, and that's where Matic sitting there will kind of help, in my opinion. But see that as in options are there. That's the
yeah,
biggest point.
yeah.
Pellegrini is, I think, very underrated player. Generally speaking, I think I like Pellegrini, and we've done watch alongs with Fateh. But I think Zaniolo, if he kind of stays, brilliant. But again, I know Trish Chelsea FW is saying that he's probably off now. But let's see how it is. But coming to Rahul, like don't you think Mourinho is creating the same tactics and magic which he did with Inter Milan? Do you think a similarity is there, Rahul, in terms of the tactics that is going, the kind of players that is buying, or do you see that he's just going with who is available at best?
No, yeah, I don't really find similarities with Inter. I think it's a completely different project. Like he's trying to take a team that was like finished 7th twice in a row when he came in, so it's very different. I think he's changed as well. Like Roma played some good football last year. Like he's got a reputation for being negative defensive football, but whenever I tuned into Roma games last season, there was quite good games to watch, like some high scoring affairs. And I think that defense, that's why I think they're strong contenders for top 4, but I don't think that defense is like up to par. I'm not the biggest fan of Mancini.
Mancini, I knew that's coming. Me and Fateh have had like so many conversations around him. He's the vice captain, so
Yeah,
he's
he's
probably going to
like
be playing.
the passion merchant. Like they love him because of his he's got the tattoos. Materazzi is like his idol, but like when you watch him play, it's like not convincing. And Rui Patricio in goal as well. Like I'm not 100% sold on him. Yeah,
He's
and
more of a
Smalling
short
is
stopper
good.
at best.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Smalling is good, but he's injured quite a lot for them.
Yeah.
So,
Also, I also wanted to ask, like, Mkhitaryan has also made a move, right? Obviously, he's moved, and as in strange. Did he play for Mourinho at Manchester United? Not sure.
Yeah,
People he did,
yeah.
right? Probably that is one of the reasons.
I
And
think they
and
fell out
Mourinho
though. I
used to
think they
call
had
him
like a
out in the
falling out.
media.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
Mourinho used to call him out in the media that Mickey is not doing this,
Wow.
Mickey is not doing that. So I thought that maybe he'd move last
So
season, but
it's
he moved
Mata
this
part two,
season.
Fateh. Basically, Mata के साथ जो हुआ था ना चेल्सी और मैनचेस्टर में वही
Absolutely,
वापस से हुआ है.
absolutely. Yeah.
अरे भाई तो what do you think, Fateh? मतलब क्या लग रहा है, मतलब any reports on Mickey, like the fact, I know that he's not the player he once was, obviously, but do you think that he can, obviously, the fact that इतना squad depth की बात करें ना, he will certainly add on when he comes on, he as a sub, right? Maybe you can say that they have lost quite a few players over the years, but I think that experience is something that they needed. So would you think he would add that factor, or no, it's just a squad member at best?
To Inter Milan. Look, I think Vidal was in and out. We had Vidal and he was injured a lot. So that was a
Yeah.
big problem, because there were moments where you went from Hakan, Brozovic, and Barella right down to Gagliardini, and the quality drop that happened at that stage used to be massive. And Simone loves his 68-minute substitution. So if Mkhitaryan is fit, and I think looking at his stats, he's generally played a lot of games for Roma in these last 2 seasons, barring that injury that he had, I think, in the Conference League towards the end of last season. So we are hoping that he's not injury prone. If he's not, I think he's somebody who can sort of step in the Hakan role. He can probably even play higher up the pitch. There were reports that Simone Inzaghi has been experimenting with the 3-4-1-2, and so Mkhitaryan could be that one. So I think that could be very interesting if that happens. Will Roma miss him? I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I think he was good for them, but it wasn't as if he was their star man. Like you said, Pellegrini, Zaniolo, Tammy, those were the guys who were making a difference for them, for Roma. So I don't think they're going to miss him. They've got Matic. Their defense is a problem, but I do think that they'd probably make one signing. The guy Marash Kumbua has totally fallen off since he came to Roma. So maybe it will be his time to shine because he was so good under Juric, and that's what I'm hoping, that it's probably the Juric effect, that Kumbua was so good at Hellas and Bremer was so good at Torino. I know it's just sour grapes from me at this stage, but I'm just hoping that Bremer flops at Juve in the 4-3-2-1 or Allegri football.
You know what? In the El Clasico, sorry, against Barcelona, he was really bad. Bremer, I must say,
Really?
he was really bad. मैंने किया था रिव्यू और आई एम लाइक नो मैन, नो वे. अरे आशीष, नमस्कार यार, आप इतने बार नमस्कार कर रहे हो, कोई नहीं, मतलब प्लीज डू नॉट स्पैम. एंड अगेन पीपल, whoever is joining in and whoever is trickling in here, do not forget to hit that like button, and again not forget to hit the subscribe. अगर आपने नहीं किया है, also check out Uncle Sharma's channel, very good channel, it's in the description below. No, I am not, let me be very clear here. I am part of it, but I don't know if guys can see here, probably you guys can see here, right? As in, it's always AC Milan, yeah. But again, definitely Inter Milan fans in the house, always good to kind of have that banter going. I love it. Fateh knows it, and probably we'll have a lot of more conversations with Rahul as well. Any prediction about Lord Lukaku? Well, coming back to Inter quickly, how many goals, Rahul? Come on, how many goals are you expecting him to score?
Well, first, I hope that Lautaro never touches a penalty ever again. So I hope he takes over all the penalties. So I would say, what did he have? I think in the last season with Conte, he had, was it 23, 24 in the league? I'd say 20. I'm expecting 20 goals.
20 goals. Okay, let's see. Fateh, any number in mind? I know
Yeah,
Fateh was on the other side. He didn't like that move, right? I
yeah.
know that.
I
Really?
don't like Lukaku. I was really excited for Dybala, and I'm going to be like hating on Lukaku the whole year. But I think he'll still
Wow.
get 20 goals. I think he will get 20 goals. He's happy right now. You can see from his attitude. But he also came overweight, so that's a big worry. So I hope that he doesn't take time. And then there's the World Cup in between. I mean, I don't know about injuries or what
Yeah.
happens there.
See,
So I
that's the
mean,
thing. Fateh makes a brilliant point. क्योंकि यार with Conte, if Conte was there, Conte was one of them. जो कर देता था भाई यार work कराए. He used to make sure that people get fit. As well as Inzaghi is, whether he's that kind of man, or let's see how it kind of turns up those relation between the two. Because again, going by what has happened in the last year at Chelsea, pretty sure Inter should be wary of that. Yeah, of course he loves Inter. Inter loves him, but still, I think you cannot just disregard the fact what happened. As in, what it did was Fateh and Rahul. Pretty sure you all agree that it was kind of as in it was unprofessional, simply put, right? You have to kind of keep both the clubs in basically in the news. But anyway, how big is the loss for Inter to miss on Dybala and Bremer? To be honest, yeah, and that's what Fateh has been referring to. That's the reason why Fateh is rated 6.5 because of those misses. But again, I think it depends on their defense. If they can build on the defense and they can keep Skriniar, like Rahul has said, I think that'll be a brilliant window for me if I was an Inter fan, which I'm not. But yeah, and that's something that will make the league very interesting for me if Skriniar stays there. Do you think AC Milan will defend the Serie A title this season? Chalo, let's move on to AC Milan quickly, and yes, we'll come back to these clubs as well. So, Rahul, of course, as in your answer will probably be no, or do you think no, AC Milan are doing best by keeping Rafael Leao one person? Is that enough?
Bro, I don't even know how you guys won it last season. I don't even
Oh my, I knew this coming.
It's true. I just look at the team again. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
you know what?
wow.
Probably Inter lost it more than AC Milan. I kind of agree there. I have gone on
Yeah.
record saying that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know. Pioli just deserves so much credit. I don't know how he's done that. And you guys, again, be like, if you look at the squad again, nothing like stands out to me now. But you have to obviously respect the team now and give them a higher rating than we used to do before. But I just don't see, I don't see you guys doing it 2 times in a row. Like, I just
Let's
don't
see,
see it.
man. You know what? The next step is that just sustenance. Sustenance is key. Like Inter Milan, we spoke about not doing very well in Europe. I think for AC Milan, doing well in the league is very, very crucial this time because again the cycle starts again, and I don't think
Mm.
that helps anyone, right? Uh, so I'll just show you, and you have a great point there. Rahul makes a great point about you actually see the starting 11, right? As of now, again, मैं यहाँ पर नहीं डालो. People watching will say यार Ziyech जाने वाला है. Yeah, like Skriniar is still in Inter Milan, Ziyech is still in Chelsea. So I'm not putting him yet. I know there are reports of 8.5 million. It'll be a steal if he goes to Milan for 8.5 million. Hakim Ziyech, but anyway, they have, yeah, I put Charles de Ketelaere because that is almost done. I think he already flew, etc. So I'm kind of putting him there. Yeah, you can argue that Brahim Diaz might kind of start there, but I still feel that Brahim Diaz, because of the fact that he's technically still on loan, I think if I'm not wrong. So I think you might actually give the new player more time. And if you actually notice, this is like the ideal starting 11 for me as a Milan fan, right? Because I want one experienced player to be in at every line, and that's something that I think Milan probably lacked in the previous years, and this
Mm.
time they have that
No
compared to other
Kalulu.
years. Oh yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm more of like old school with Simon Kier, being that experienced head. With Tomori, matlab, again, maybe it's left field, but Rahul, I think Fateh is knowing that. For me, Tomori, yes, he's superb when it comes to the pace, the recovery, etc. But he still has that mistake in him. So I feel that Simon Kier getting fit, I would rather have him. And what do you guys think about Florenzi? Like, Florenzi is kind of finally moved. Do you think he can be that attacking now that he's made the move permanent? Fateh, what do you think? Any reports of Florenzi?
No, I don't think. I think Florenzi and Calabria will still be, oscillating
Rotating.
between them. And I don't
Yeah.
think Florenzi is that impact maker. I think you haven't mentioned him. He's coming from Liverpool, Origi. So
Yep.
can Origi be a success? I mean, they're looking at De Ketelaere, Origi, and Ziyech. If Ziyech also comes, I think that's a very good signing for them because Liao, Ziyech, Origi, or Giroud, or Ibra in the middle, and then there's this young guy, De Ketelaere. By the way, an interesting stat about him is that only Ibra and Giroud have played more Champions League matches than De Ketelaere. So That's very interesting. Nobody in the Milan squad has the Champions League experience that he has, and he's played what, 8 games or 10 games or whatever. So
Yeah,
it's,
that's great.
I mean, it's just one of those weird stats that came out and just stuck with me. A lot of people are saying it'll take him time coming into a new league, but a lot of people rate him so highly. So I mean, and I think Milan stick to their philosophy where they get these youngsters. I mean, look at that squad: Tonali, De Ketelaere, Liao, Theo
One more
Hernandez,
name,
Lulu,
Fateh. So I think there is still
Mignon.
no 15 million is left in the kitty, I believe. And that
Yeah.
it depends on whether they use it on Ziyech 9 million and Tanganga on loan is what has been rumored. But one name, if we get, in my opinion, that will be brilliant is Renato Sanches. I think Renato
Oh
Sanches, if we
yeah,
can
yeah,
pull it off,
yeah, yeah.
I think that will be next level because as much as Benacer is definitely good. I like Benacer. He's one of them who can actually do well. Kudich, okay, fair enough. But I actually feel that if he can come in, and just pull in, especially Europe. People talking about Europe, right? That's somewhere that Sanchez can help. But this point, as in again, Rahul, what do you think was Latan, man? As in, I know probably was it Çalhanoğlu who made a point about him not doing anything for Milan. But what is your opinion? Like, what does Latan bring to AC Milan compared to basically what Lukaku doesn't to Inter? Just a banter, yeah.
No, yeah, he's kind of like a mascot basically, or like a
Yeah.
coach on the sideline. So, yeah, I mean, he always has that presence, that aura, and it seems to help him, like the young Milan team. So he's like a guide. Like it seems like he really took Leao under his wing and took him to the next level. So there's definitely someone just said that he's the most expensive cheerleader in history. But no, I still, I mean, obviously most Inter fans dislike Zlatan, but I struggle. Like he's so good, man. Still so good, even at that age. Like he's such a professional as well. But
Yeah.
obviously,
You know what?
he's a
And,
dick.
and this is a fantastic comment. I think if you guys notice, that's why I've not put Salemaker as my right winger because I actually don't feel that he does the job enough. So that's the reason they definitely needed that. And if they can get both Sanchez and Ziyech, which is difficult going by the financials, despite having new ownership, and Tanganga, I think that will be depth. Talk about depth at Roma. I think this is next level depth in my opinion. But yes, I agree in terms of the starting 11. I still feel that the squad that we saw maybe for Inter has a better starting 11 any day. I have to say that. So again, going back to last season, it was probably Inter losing than Milan winning. But now that we've got that, I think it's very important for Milan to build on that. And here, quickly, question again. Okay, Milan has the left side in Serie A, Theo or yeah, okay. Yes,
Easy.
but what do you think about Gosens? I think Fateh mentioned a point. I'll take Rahul's opinion as well. Gosens, yes, he was out for a long while in the last season, but I believe his preseason has not gone well. But I think he can be a fantastic left wing back as well. Do you think that the fact that Perisic has finally left will create that void in Inter's left side, or do you think Gosens can live up to it?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the question marks coming into the season because I think the thing with Gosens, even at his best, I think he's very similar to Dumfries. Like he's not very technical wing back. Like they both like to get into the box and with the heading or the athleticism, the power. None of the two carried the ball. Like Perisic was a dribbler. He carried the ball. He was good like both feet. So yeah, Gosens. I've never actually been too big of a fan of Gosens. Like even when he was at Atalanta, putting the mad numbers. But I think in the end he'll be fine. Like we just need to give him time to recover from his long injury. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll put up some good numbers for Inter. Perisic last season was just unbelievable. It was just like I don't think anyone expected Perisic
I've
on.
always said this, bro. He's one of the most underrated footballers. Period. Simply put, he's like so. He was so good. Even at Bayern Munich, people don't kind of realize he actually was the main cause. One of the main causes why they actually won the Champions League that year. Perisic was actually one
Yeah,
of them, right? So you have to give it to him, and he was alone. Remember, Coutinho was also there, right? If I remember right,
yeah.
was Coutinho? Yeah, but I think Perisic probably played a bigger role there. Here, how is Eric Bailly going to Roma, and will it impact Roma's defense? I'll take Fateh's opinion here. So moving again, one of those Jose Mourinho signings if it happens, Fateh. But definite upgrade to Mancini, right? Pretty sure.
Yes, but was Bailly good under Mourinho at Man U? Because I don't think
He
he
was
fit in
good.
that
He
well that
was
season.
Yeah, he was injured. He was just too injured. He was decent. He started off well, but he kind of fell off. But I think the problem with Eric Bailly was more about injury during Mourinho's era, and then he kind of fell off because of the coach changing. That's what happened with him. But because
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty sure Mourinho always likes that one pacey player at the back, right? If I remember right in all his squads.
yeah, and I think that's the one problem that we already said about Roma. They are good in midfield, they're good going forward, but that defense, it was good enough to win the Conference League, but I don't think it's going to be good enough in Serie A. So they do need somebody there, and that's why I said maybe this is the season that Kumbua steps up, because that guy was so highly rated at
Yeah,
Hellas
he
Verona.
was.
There was talk that Inter could be getting Kumbua and Tonali, and then the money just went. COVID happened, and we just backed off, and those were two names that could have come to Inter. And then we instead went in another direction. We went for Vidal, and okay, it paid off. So yeah, I mean, I think they'd probably want one defender, somebody that comes in the last week of the transfer market, somebody on loan. If Manu are willing to let Bailly go, then yeah, why not? I think it will be good for Roma, because as Smalling showed, in that three-man defense. Again, I don't know whether Bailly has played in a three-man defense. Solskjaer didn't play that.
Well, he
Mourinho
has,
didn't
but
play
in
that.
games, he's like not consistently, but in between, there used to be games where he used to play, 3-man defense as well. So he's aware of how he plays there. But again, Mahakal with this question. So let's kind of shift a little bit quickly to Juventus. Of course, by the way, I don't know if you guys
Ooh,
got a chance to watch the match this morning. I did. I thought I'll do a review, but I'm like, oh man, Juventus was so bad. It was like
really?
pretty one-sided. Man, they're terrible. They didn't turn up for
Oh,
the
I need to
game.
watch
Simply put.
this.
They were terrible. Allegri doing an Allegri again. I don't know what is Allegri up to. These guys are either not motivated or the system that he plays. I know that they've had injuries as well. You have to give it to them. They've had new signings, so it'll take time, etc. But very interesting. So Rahul, what do you think? As in, what is the best structure that Juve needs to go? Because remember, last season he played Rabiot at left wing at times because of obviously Chiesa injury, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, probably 4-3-3. I think probably this makes the most sense, especially once Chiesa comes back. If you have Di Maria and Chiesa on the wings, that probably makes the most sense with Vlahovic in the middle. Yeah, as the midfielder, I'm not sure because um, I'm not sure who like the CDM would be. I don't see Zakaria playing that CDM role personally. And then Pogba, I don't know when he's coming back now. They said he's out for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, 3 months is
Um,
what the news is. Again, this is like the ideal team once everyone is fit. But you're right, as in probably even McKennie is coming after a long-term injury, so that's not ideal. So they might have to get back Rabiot in the fold. I think Zakaria is good. I know it's just preseason. Zakaria has done decently well. Locatelli, Zakaria have actually looked the better part of Juventus from the
hmm.
matches I have seen. But maybe Di Maria is that guy that they needed some kind of experience. And very interesting, Fateh, coming to you. Uh, as in, do you think they've upgraded very, very? I know it's a kind of question on Dybala's injury, but do you think they've upgraded or downgraded with Di Maria coming there?
See, I think for a 4-3-3, because I've always struggled with the way Allegri has treated Dybala. It's weird because Dybala had good numbers under Sari, and then last season it was said that Allegri wants to play Dybala more, and that's why he wants Cristiano Ronaldo out. And once that happened, obviously, okay, Dybala was injured here and there, but then it never clicked for Juventus last season. So I think that's and you can see why Juve didn't really want to give Dybala that money. So I think in the 4-3-3 with Di Maria and Chiesa and Vlahovic in the center, I think they'll do well. They've also got Cambiaso, very highly rated. I don't know whether he'll be a starter straight away or not. They were linked to Kostic. I don't know if that happens or not. I don't know whether West Ham have closed that deal. You can
Yeah,
let me
I
know.
think West Ham are probably closer. That's what I hear. In fact, one name that obviously is going rounds, obviously coming from Chelsea rather than from Juventus, is the fact that Dillit did not opt to come to Chelsea. We wanted to give Werner the other side, and I think it might just happen because yeah, there are stories of we offering Werner to Real Madrid as well as Newcastle are interested. But I think I rather, as a Chelsea fan, I rather see him in Juventus. I don't know what
So
do you see that fit.
but what's interesting about Juventus is that with the Pogba injury, they're talking to Lazio for Milinkovic Savic, and that is a 50 million plus, an obligation next season, like a loan for this season, maybe 10 million. If that happens, I don't know. I mean, Uncle Sharma, there was a time when Milinkovic was the big name in Serie A, and maybe 2 3 years ago. But if that happens, then I think Juventus. probably a lock to win the league. I know these are just preseason friendly, so if that happens, then I'm very scared of Juve.
Okay. By the way, happy belated birthday even to Dead Sky Gaming. Very, very coincident here, but yes, it's great to actually know that. Of course, we're a regular watcher of our show. I hope you had a great day. And of course, we'll meet up anytime. You can always rewatch the streams. And again, a lot of people have joined in finally. Yes, finally, the prime time is kind of started. So people are like trickling on. Hopefully, everyone has liked the stream. आप भूलिए मत like करिए और please subscribe करिए और also check out Uncle Sharma's content. Very good content as well. Of course, an Inter fan, but he knows his Italian football inside out absolutely. Okay, Ankit, I watched a match today. Juventus was so bad. Ceballos was playing like prime Zidane. That's actually true. You know what? Talking about that's why preseasons are never to be judged. Kennedy for Chelsea, Barkley for Chelsea have been good. Ceballos for Real Madrid has been good. He's actually been one of the best players, and after Benzema. I actually mean that, right? But for Juventus, if I had to pick one player who's actually looked really good and finally, coming to terms with the Juventus system, is Locatelli. I think Locatelli is a guy who can kind of really do what we saw briefly the Euros. But again, problem with Locatelli is do you get that in the entire season? That's the only problem that that there can be. Like again, let's see how it goes. Juventus needs one more centre back and attacking options. Yeah, again, Werner. Let's see, man. I would like to see Werner there. Yes, they have to change the formation probably for Werner coming there because I don't think he can play like a cam role. What probably Pogba would. And that's why like the panel is saying 4-3-3 is the best, where probably Werner can fit in well as well because Chiesa, where is Chiesa back, Rahul? Any idea on that?
I think they said November, December time.
Wow, that's a long time. Yeah, very long time, in fact.
Yeah.
That's not good. But you know what? I actually left field was thinking that maybe because the fact that he's injured, why not Chelsea bid for Chiesa because it might just happen. But again, yes, people saying that हिंदी में बात करो यार हम करेंगे सब लोग यार देख भी कभी कभी हम पैनल का भी रेस्पेक्ट करते हैं तो we kind of go there and of course just kind of introducing you. Rahul definitely जानते हैं हिंदी पंजाबी दोनों जानते हैं लेकिन वही है the fact is he actually has been living, if I'm not wrong, in Europe, right? All the while. So it makes sense to kind of converse in English. But again, he understands and he's responding to Hindi questions well. Absolutely, it's a fan channel for all to see, and it's a language of football. That's what I always say. Juventus need another 11, another manager, another owner, another supporting manager, another gate guard too. I mean, they are so damaged from top to bottom. Oh my god! You know what? They are a sleeping giant in Italian football. As much as I hate to say it, that's a reality. You never know with Juventus. That's the thing. But, two signings and bomb, as in they can come back. That's what I would say. Werner and Guardiola swap deal. I heard. I hope Guardiola doesn't go there because I think Chelsea are madly going after Guardiola and so was City. That'll be interesting. Anyway, Roma definitely top four. Mike, interesting. Okay, let's talk a little bit about other clubs. I know that we are kind of sticking to these four obvious ones, but I think people are kind of missing out. Rahul, what do you think about the fact that Luka Jovic is, gone to Fiorentina? As in, yes, Arthur Cabral last season they got probably did not really uproot trees, but do you think Luka Jovic probably will get his mojo back at Fiorentina? He can be the difference maker.
Yeah, I think. I mean, as a signing, I think it's amazing. Like what they pulled off, it was like a free transfer, but like Real Madrid is still paying half his wages. Like it was, I don't know how they pulled that off. That was amazing. And yeah, like obviously they needed to replace Vlahovic, Fiorentina, because they tried to replace him with like the two with Piontek and what's the Brazilian guy? I forgot his name now.
Oliveira.
Yeah. So, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, but as in overall, would you say like outside these four, for you, as in, but obvious Napoli is that club which is I know they lost Koulibaly, which we'll be talking about, but as in they are the club that you are most threatened by, which is the club that you think as in you got to be very careful about apart from the four that we mentioned.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about Kvaratskhelia, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I would say Napoli, man. Napoli is a good shout. Like I think their mark has been underrated. I think because people have seen all the outgoings. They've seen Koulibaly left and Mertens, Insigne. So like everyone's focusing on the outgoings of. But I think like they've always done this. Napoli. They always buy these kind of like lesser known players from other leagues, from like outside of the top 5 leagues, and they always like turn out really. Their scouting's always really good. Like the Korean from Fenerbahce, Kim. he looks really good. And yeah, Kvara,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his full name because I'll get
Kvaratskhelia. It's Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and I think he's going to be big.
Yeah, he looks like a real. Like, I think he's an instant upgrade on Insigne. Insigne was like dusted last season. Like he barely got any open play involvement. I think this guy is going to be an instant upgrade on him, even though he's only 21.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. And yes, people, I'm seeing like a lot of comments here again. Yes, thanks, bang bang. Not to kind of as in let that happen, but at the same time, mods as well. One request I did request it one of the recent streams. Mods, if I can quickly request again, अगर आप लोग miss कर दियो, यार थोड़ा सा lenient होइए. You don't need to basically say that okay, don't spam, please. Otherwise, you will get timeout. I think probably we can just say don't spam. If they're still spamming, then probably give the warning. The reason being that the idea of the channel is it's a fan channel for all this. So we welcome banter, we welcome a lot of comments, and that's the idea. We kind of take it easy, and then obviously you can let me know if they're kind of crossing the line. But again, thank you, bang bang, every mod there, absolutely. Yes, Fateh, you had a point, please.
Yeah, I mean, I think Napoli also linked with Diego Simeone's son. Has that move already happened? Because if that has happened, it hasn't happened. So is Osimhen leaving? That's also a big question mark. Because look, I think losing Koulibaly and Osimhen in the same market, also Mertens and
Yeah, he
Insigne.
won't leave. In my opinion, he won't leave. Where will he leave to? Because I think he was linked very strongly to Arsenal. Arsenal have got a Gabriel Jesus. He's scoring goals for fun.
Manchester United.
Manchester United as well, but again, I think they are going for the young striker from Salzburg, right? That's what I heard. They're really going for him. In fact, right?
Seshko.
So, yeah, Sesko, and exactly, and if Osimhen goes to a club, I think he probably would expect to start games, right? Sesko can still come on, so I think he's a better choice for Manchester United. I don't see Osimhen kind of coming, and he's very expensive. He's not like a cheap guy as well, so he's going to be expensive. So I think वो नहीं lose करने वाले because Napoli are definitely they are rebuilding, right? So again, I don't think they can like Uncle Sharma said that they are losing out players, of course, at the end of the season. As in Reece Mertens has been a legend for them, right, as well. So a lot of changes coming through. So I don't think they can lose so many players. I think Osimhen goals are crucial for them, in my opinion. But what is your opinion, Fateh? Like in terms of basically the league, whether who wins it or not, what is going to be the telling factor? It's going to be just the goals, or it's just going to be like the fact that it's a World Cup year. Which club has lesser players going to the World Cup? What is that one difference? Because it's really close. It's for me, it's so difficult to call. As much as I would say that Milan are favorites because we won it last time, but actually, if we saw the starting 11s of four clubs here, you can argue that Milan is probably third best in that, right? So again, a lot of transfers also linked, right? So what is your as in difference maker?
I don't I think Serie A has lost a lot of talent this market, and there are also French clubs, mid-table French clubs who are looking at some Serie A players. So yeah, I mean I think there's a lot that's going on. I don't think Inter is stronger than last year. I mean I think we're on the same-ish level. I mean I don't think so. Our market's all that great. I think Juve made a better market. But again, like somebody said in the comments, Allegri, is he? A lot of people are calling him a dinosaur. Are his tactics up to? I don't know about that. I was very surprised to see Juve struggle last year. Milan have stability, they have continuity. That's something that I think helped them last season. And obviously, missing out on the Champions League. I mean, if you don't have a deep enough squad, you can actually do well in the league. And that's where I think Roma, if they can fix their defense, they might even challenge. But yeah, I don't have a favorite right now. I mean, just looking at the names, I would have said Juventus, but again, is Allegri ball up to it in 2022? I don't know. So I can't give you a favorite right now. For me, I would love to see an outsider win it, but and an outside, I don't think Lazio are even being talked about. It's not a good enough market. It's not. I don't know why Sari went there in the first place. So yeah, I mean, no favorites right now. Let's just wait for the market and let's take a call when the season starts and the market closes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult to call, simply put. And again, people in the chat, यार आप लोग का भी comments डाल दीजिए. और yes, Rahul, so which is the best jersey this time? As in, first of all, let's talk about Venezia jersey. But what about the Juve jersey, man? And that's kind of split opinion. As in the electric shock that they have, right? As in, I don't know, Rahul, what is your opinion? What's your choice? Obviously, apart from the Inter Milan jersey, what is the best jersey for you in Serie A this time?
I don't know. There's not any particularly standout ones. I mean, Venezia Serie B now, so we can't count Venezia anymore.
Oh yeah, technically.
Uh, I don't know. Give me some names. I can't really think of any nice standout ones, to be honest.
Yeah, I think probably as in the safe bet is Roma. I think for many people, I know that
Yeah.
Roma as in are quite popular in terms of jersey most of the seasons. So that's something that I would go with. What about you, Fateh?
I'm not impressed with the Inter home kit. That blue is off. It's giving me Atalanta vibes. I don't get it why we have that. There's also, by the way, there are problems with our sponsor. Digital bits, and so I don't know. I mean, yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
It's sick, bro. What are you on about? It's a sick kit. Apart from
And what if digital bits? What if digital
all right,
bits don't pay the money?
like this.
Oh, okay, okay. Now here you had the live presentation, people. Come on, that's brilliant. That's brilliant from Rahul. Thanks, Rahul, for sharing with us that. You know what? That's interesting. But getting back to the comment here, I think there was a comment again. We did briefly discuss about this. Bartholomew in the house. Come on, we got to take this comment. Uh, come on. Yes, of course, man. As an I'm a Chelsea fan, so I think we rather want a Bartholomew than a Laporta. Put it that way. But Rahul, what do you think? As in, what is it that Inter needs to do different to reach that quarterfinals? Do you think top signing is what can change it, or do you think it's simply put just Lukaku turns up? What do you think will make that change?
I think, as I said earlier, I think it just depends on the draw, bro. Like, I just think
Yeah.
if we can avoid the big teams, if we avoid Bayern, Man City, Liverpool, like these teams, and yeah, we can get. I think we can beat most of the other like teams. It's just the elite. We're just below the elite for sure.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. This
Also, we
season
are
is
in pot
going.
three. Let's not forget we are in pot three, so the chances of us getting an easy group. When we were in pot one, we don't get easy groups, so just forget it.
Interesting, interesting. This season is going to be more fun, suspense and drama and Serie A. Yeah, absolutely. I think every year it's seeming like that. But I know Fateh made a great point about actually Serie A losing some top players. And again, let's talk about that. Delict moving to Bayern Munich. You can argue that he's not a top player. Actually, if you see him week in week out. But again, maybe my Dutch fan in me is coming out now. I'm just saying that. But you know what? If did anyone watch? मैंने किया था review कल था I think match
Bayern Munich.
the Super Cup. Did you watch that, Fateh and
He got
Rahul?
he got turned inside out. I saw the
Oh
daily.
Oh
man,
yeah,
you know,
So
yeah.
bad.
and I played it safe in my review. I played it safe in the review. I didn't cover that in my review. I got a few DMs. I got a few DMs. Man,
Yeah,
you were going for Delict. You are going to pay 70 million, and this is what he does. You know what? It's just preseason. I know it's
please.
Super Cup, but come on, Super Cup. I would consider just as a preseason. To be very honest, that's inter. Within the league, absolutely. Roma is the best. Interesting, but Koulibaly, as in I've got to take your guys' opinion because you guys have watched Koulibaly definitely more than me. I'm assuming so. Rahul, firstly, what do you think? I know Rudiger was a huge loss. He's looked brilliant even at left back for Real Madrid. Talk about that. But do you think Koulibaly is that guy? I know we've given a long-term contract, and I know he's not that Koulibaly of maybe 3 years ago. But where are you on Koulibaly with Chelsea? The way we play.
No, I think he's a great buy. Like to me, he was always a top five centre back in Serie A for a while.
Yeah.
Leadership qualities, both footed. Like he's really good with his left foot as well, even though he's right footed. Yeah, he's got recovery speed. He's got strength. He's good in the air. Like he's got everything. I think I think you've done very. Even though he's 31, I think you've done a good signing.
Yeah, I agree there. Fateh, what do you think Koulibaly is worthy to take number 26 from John Terry? He's probably the first one to ever do that.
I think so. I think so. He has those leadership qualities, like Uncle Sharma mentioned, and that's why I'm wondering about the Fenerbahce guy that Napoli have. Language barriers will be there. I'm not so sure if that's a like for like. Like a lot of people are really hyping Min. I hadn't even heard of him. I watched Turkish football. Okay, I didn't watch it last season, so I don't think he's been a. I don't know. So I mean, I think Koulibaly is a massive miss for Napoli, and I think he'll be very good for you in Chelsea. I think you're still after one more defender. So yeah, I think he'll do very well. He'll do very well, and it'll be a big
Mhm.
miss for Serie A. But kudos to him for not taking Juventus. I mean, I think he came out and said, going from Napoli to Juve, I have to respect the rivalry. I'm not going to do it, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just shows the kind of guy that
And
he is.
and one more thing, I know all the love to all the fans. It's a fan channel for all to see. He also kudos for him to not go to Barcelona. One player who actually came to Chelsea this
Yeah,
is this
yeah,
window.
absolutely.
Definitely. because he was linked to Barcelona as well, absolutely. But Roma jersey is like Himalayas home or Sadhu, so I don't find anything special. It's or a bhai interesting comment here. I want Inter Milan versus Chelsea in champion. You know what? Everyone wants Barcelona and Chelsea at some point, but I think Inter Milan Chelsea will be brilliant to see as well, especially with Lukaku going there. Pretty sure that's going to be one hell of a game if that happens. Trust me on that. Another kind of So Chelsea has this thing going. This time is going to be really interesting. Yeah, let's hope that we get out of the group. Let's not jump the gun, Chelsea fans. But Bremer is the most hyped player after. You know what? He was the best defender in Serie A last season. But even just going back to last season, Rahul, don't you think he was actually that good to get that best defender award? Or do you think he was hyped? Last season, he had a very good season, Torino, didn't he, Bremer?
Yeah, no, I think he deserved it. I think it's a shame. Skriniar both years, like Romero got it the season before, and then he went to Spurs, and then Bremer got it, and he's gone to Juventus. But I think both years Skriniar was right there. He could have got it, but I think he deserved it last year.
Yeah, right. And yes, people, I had started a few comments here, and this is right, absolutely. And ये मैंने कवर किया आज के वीडियो में, सुबह मैंने रिलीज किया था, इसलिए मैंने डिटेल में शुरू में बात नहीं की स्ट्रीम में. But now that Fateh and Rahul both are here, Fateh, Kepa, man, Kepa is going to Napoli. It's happening.
Is it confirmed?
It's almost 75%. I don't know, for whatever reason, Chelsea are paying 75% of his salary and letting him go to Napoli on loan when we don't have a second choice goalkeeper. We have signed Flori now.
You're getting that MLS highly rated.
But
MLS
he's coming only in January 1st. He's not coming before that. MLS, after MLS completes, he'll come now.
Okay.
He's not going to come till then. It's a World Cup year. I understand that Kepa wants to play. He wants to be in the squad for Spain, which he was. But Fateh, for Napoli, the fact that Ospina has left and Kepa coming in, I think that can be one of the main things for them maybe to keep. I know Kepa is kind of very, very, criticized. But I think we've done a few watch along last time, and I think cup games he was actually, keeping, and he did pretty well. He in fact won us the Super Cup, I must say. So where are you on this Kepa saga? Like,
I remember Napoli conceding goals due to Ospina, as well as what's the other guy's name? Perin.
Yeah, no, Perin is in Juve. Anyway.
Yeah,
Meret.
Meret. Like I remember, and I rated Meret. I thought Meret was going to bench whosoever was there, and it didn't happen. Okay, injuries and whatnot. So I think Kepa will be a good. I think he'll be a safe bet. But again, how is he with his feet? Because Spalletti also builds from the back.
He's
so how
good.
is he?
He's good. He's pretty
He's
good.
good. Yeah,
In fact, I would go as far as to say with his feet is better than Mendy.
Yeah, so I think he'll be good. I think that's a good signing. Again, that's why I'm saying, like, when you look at Napoli, you think, okay, the veterans are going, it's not going to be the same. But there are these young players coming in, and a lot of Inter fans hate Spalletti or don't like him, but I respect him a lot. It was because of Spalletti that we ended the banter era. We became so good defensively, and it's a personal question. We didn't have the team. Like Icardi was not mobile enough. It was not a Spalletti thing. I think it was just that team. With those wing attackers, Kandreva and Perisic, so far disconnected from Icardi, that it didn't happen. But yeah, I think Spalletti is a great coach. So if Kepa's going there, and I think this is a Kepa at Chelsea has just not worked out. So you have to cut your losses, just the way with Lukaku. Having said that, I don't think Napoli are going to pay you a lot of money next year either. So it's going to be
That's the
interesting.
thing, right? Even now, 25% is what they're agreeing to, which is like very less. If they were at least offering 50%, I can understand. But it's, I think, purely on the basis of, we are expecting Kepa here. The fact that एक साल वो bench पर बैठा है फिर भी, काफी मतलब he didn't do a Lukaku. I have to say that that's the best example I have in mind. He was like definitely very professional. So, and he won a Super Cup, like I said. So maybe it's just that, or we were actually linked to Strakosha is the name, the Lazio goalkeeper, and then he went to. We were linked to him, and then he went to Brentford. So, pata nahi yaar, matlab, Bettinelli is very, very. I don't think he's ready for a second choice goalkeeper. I'm just hoping we don't do last season, jahan par we lost our main fullbacks, wing backs in Chilwell and Reece James, and then we were left with Alonso and Aspi there. But again, yes, some preseason talks यहाँ पे before ending the stream as well. And again, people do not forget to like the stream. एक thumbs up button है, दबा दीजिए और सब लोग देख रहे हैं भाई, काफी मजा आ रहा है. Pretty sure. Let's actually hit that subscribe button if you have not done. also for Uncle Sharma. Yeah, very good content. Let's do that. It's linked in the description below. How Roma beat Spurs? Yes, they beat them 1-0, and this has actually happened yesterday. मैंने मैच देखा नहीं है. I don't know if anyone in the panel watched, but I would say that Mourinho has done one over Spurs, man. Probably as much as I don't like, say that, the fact is, Mourinho probably deserved that. I know it's just preseason, doesn't matter, but where are you on that? As in, three of us are Mourinho fans. As in, Fateh, I remember
I,
discussing with you.
I,
Yeah, please.
I would love to see Conte drop out of the Champions League and go into the Europa League and play the champions of the Conference League, that is AS Roma, in the Europa League. I would love to see that happen. So I'm all for it. I hope it happens. I hope, because look, I like Conte a lot too for what he did at Inter. But at the same time, I don't want to. I don't want to see him being a success at Spurs. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, good one there. Fateh is my best friend, bro. That's what I would say with that. As much as I love Conte and Mourinho both, for me, definitely, as in, there has to be a
Mourinho,
preference.
yeah.
As in, I love the fact that even in
Right.
preseason, they beat, Spurs 1-0, because I think Daniel Levy deserved it more than anyone else. But again, uh, Rahul, how's Onana impressed you? He's got to be a first choice now, right?
No. Inzaghi said that. He's laughing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Man, Handanovic is going to play till what, 45?
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
I think he's the
oh,
38,
wow.
39, but yeah, he said that because the problem with Handanovic, he's the club captain. I think is like he's got that kind of
Yeah, but you know what?
untouchable.
We always had that. We had a Terry in the last season. We had a Kane in the last season. They were
Yeah,
club
but
captains.
outfield, yeah, but the outfield, I don't know, maybe because it's the goalkeeper, I don't know. But apparently he's gonna start. He's gonna start the season as the backup. Then maybe throughout the season, maybe he can convince. But he's looked good to me in terms of like obviously we know he's really good with his feet. Like he's probably one of like top 5 goalkeeper with his feet.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, in the AFCON he looked very rusty, obviously because he had that 1 year out with the ban. And for Ajax as well, he was getting some criticism. I saw he had like a very fiery interview on just before he left. So I think he's going to need some time. He's not looking like the Onana we saw like 2 or 3 years ago. But I think he will take over from Handanovic surely at some point in the season, maybe after the World Cup, perhaps.
I think
Interesting,
last
interesting.
night there was this one bad pass from Onana that went
Mm.
straight to the opposition, the Lyon player, and that's what a lot of Inter fans were saying, that okay, look, if this is what's going to happen, then we are in trouble. And Onana has a few errors in him,
Yeah.
and but then I think he's probably going to be okay with his feet as well. So I mean, he's a attacking goalkeeper. So I think that remains to be seen. Somebody mentioned in the comments about Lazio, they've got Romagnoli too, and
Yeah,
Vecino on 3. But yeah,
yeah.
nothing special. Yeah.
Nothing special. Romelu was there always, ever present. AC Milan क्या कर दिया यार, कुछ नहीं उखाड़ा उसने. सच में बोलता हूँ मैं. But yes, people, let's get. I'm kind of very surprised. You're not got to 100 likes. Come on, people. Let me not go on there. It definitely is the battery and the khana pina for the stream. Let's get there. But again, do not forget to subscribe to all our channels, the parents channel as well. But यहाँ पर एक और question था. I think it's about yeah. This was basically a general question. Rahul, when did you start supporting Inter and why?
Basically because of this guy here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was expecting that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the OG, the real Ronaldo. When I was growing up, because I grew up in Italy, and yeah, tuning into TV, I think it just when you see like that player doing the stuff that he was doing back in like the late 90s, and then I always liked the color blue. A lot of my friends used to support Inter as well. It was just like a thing, and then yeah, unfortunately, I was put into this life of pain and suffering.
How
Okay.
did you
And
get from Punjab to Italy, though? I mean, I know a lot of people from Punjab are in Italy. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people there too. So how did you get there? Like, your
Oh,
family?
like my dad was already working out there, so like I moved when I was like 1 years old. So he when he came back to India to get married, and we went, waited for the visa and all that kind of stuff.
And where are you originally from, man? Like, because Uncle Sharma is big in the Inter community. Like I know Anthony Worldwide, and he had that episode with Uncle Sharma. So
Yeah, yeah.
like we look at Uncle Sharma's tweets, and in all our Inter groups, and they always Perisic and
Really?
Ankit Sharma,
No,
two guys.
even with us, I would say like even like say for example any say Chelsea fan or Manchester United fan, I'm pretty sure like if they want to look up for Inter content, I would highly
Yeah,
recommend it, man. But yeah,
absolutely,
please,
absolutely.
Rahul, if
Oh,
you want to
thanks,
answer
man.
that
Didn't know
question.
that. But no, yeah, I was Punjab. I was originally from Punjab, Fagwara. If anyone's knows Fagwara, yeah,
So I'm
that's
from
from there.
Hoshiarpur, Malpur, and
Yeah,
my grandfather used to stay in Jalandhar, so that's near Phagwara.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and now in
Great,
Leicester.
great.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
It's a small world, right? As I say, the world is round. But anyway, that's what happens, right? Again, that's why I always say that it's a fan channel for all to see, and I love the content. That's the bottom line. We all speak
Yeah.
football as well. Mourinho is cooking something, absolutely is cooking something. But let's see if we can get a Wijnaldum, which Fateh has spoken about. If that kind of comes over the line, that will be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and I know, I think Rahul Uncle Sharma has to leave. So first of all, thank you again, Rahul, for coming on. Fantastic discussion with you. Of course, your views, I love it personally. I always give you a shout out. But yeah, please go ahead and talk to the people and let them know where they can find you. And yes, we'll be continuing the stream, but definitely, Rahul needs to leave. So please go for it and plug in your channel, mate.
Yeah, no, as you guys, you've plugged it plenty of time throughout the stream. If you like Serie A content, mainly Inter, I try to make Serie A, but Inter keeps us busy enough with all the drama. So yeah, Uncle Sharma on YouTube and at R Shams with two Z's on Twitter, at the Uncle Sharma on Instagram. And yeah, hope to see some of you guys from the stream today in my next few episodes. And yeah, it was great honor to be on this channel, man. I watch you a lot. You're the hardest working YouTuber out there, so shouts out to you. And Fateh, very nice to
We
meet
can
you.
live on football. Some of us can just live on football. That's what drives us. But again, great to have you. And we'll definitely come back. As in beware in the Milan derby. We'll probably
Oh
do
yeah, I'll have to get
another
you on for
one.
the derby. Yeah, yeah, I'll have to get you on.
Good one, good one. But always great to speak to you, and hopefully we'll have much more. Absolutely.
Forza Inter, guys. See you.
Okay, all the best. Take care. Okay, so yes, people. So Fateh, आपके पास है थोड़ा और समय, hopefully.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल यार, anything for you.
चलो तो यहाँ पर मैं थोड़ा बहुत बात करना चाह रहा हूँ जनरली अबाउट ट्रांसफर्स एंड टेकिंग अ फ्यू मोर क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आई प्रॉब्ली मिस्ड आउट राइट वेयर इज लाजियो इन सेरिया यार अगेन मतलब आप थोड़ा प्रेडिक्शन हो जाए बिकॉज वी आर गेटिंग टू द मोड ऑफ द स्ट्रीम सो डू यू थिंक दैट मे बी अ सारी कैन गेट यूरोप अगेन नो
See, he can get Europe, but Lazio has been very unsettled. The manner in which they lost Simone Inzaghi, they were a team that was, very stable, playing the three at the back. They changed their philosophy completely, bringing Sari in last year, and that's what surprised us, because Sari is just not somebody who's going to play that 3-5-2, the Simone system, and that Simone Inzaghi's squad was very good at the 3-5-2. Luis Alberto, Milinkovic Savic, Immobile. So they lost that. They lost Korea. They brought a man who's completely different philosophy wise, and they changed formation and they got what Pedro, and they got the West Ham guy Felipe Anderson. Those guys
yeah
don't really. I mean, Pedro works hard. Felipe Anderson, he's up and down. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. This year they've gotten Vecino from Inter on free. He's good, but he's not going to be that good. He's had injuries. There's the World Cup coming with Uruguay. They're getting Romagnoli for their defense. Acerbi, there's a problem between the fans and Acerbi, and Acerbi was their best defender under Simone Inzaghi. So Acerbi
hmm
could be leaving. Inter could be getting him. He could be on the cheap. He's the starting centre back for Italy right now after Chiellini has retired. So maybe he has a year or two left in him, but he's already 33, 34. So it's a very unsettled squad right now, and I don't know how well Sari can do. Obviously, the second year you expect him to do well, but yeah, exactly. Luis Alberto will be a big miss. So, I don't get where Lazio are headed right now. I mean, they need a few signings. They have no
yeah.
money. They don't invest. And, so how is it going to happen? Like, that's the big question that I have.
You know what? I am with Fateh with that. I don't think यार वो they are going to pull up trees. कुछ होने नहीं वाला. और yes, I know that Sari ball is a thing. I know that there are a lot of people on Twitter जो मुझे आज तक remind कराते हैं. लेकिन यार,
समझ नहीं
to be
आया.
honest, even at Chelsea, I wasn't like over excited with him. Like the fact I can give you an example. I know I'm pulling out the wrong match as an example, but that 6-0 was it against Man City? Man, the
Yeah.
guy had. I know there was a certain way he got us the Europa League, and the way that maybe Juve treated him wasn't the best in my opinion. Finally, but I don't think he did something extraordinary. Tactically also, yes, he got us a Jorginho, but I remember every game में पता था आपको कि भाई 60
Yeah.
मिनट हो गए और कोवाचिच निकलने वाले, बाकली आने वाला है, या बाकली निकलने वाला है, कोवाचिच आने वाले, हम प्रॉपर पता था. हाँ, only thing I would give him is that credit is like certain players when he was at Chelsea, वहाँ I can first hand tell ना, Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi both look the best under Sarri in their Chelsea career period. So that is something that maybe he needs to take a leaf out of, and some players जो work for him probably he needs to get them. I know Loftus-Cheek was linked to Lazio, or yes, the question was here जब मैं highlight कर रहा था, Milinkovic-Savic moving. यार let's be honest, मिलिंकोविच साविच हम फीफा में ले सकते हैं, वो रियल में मूव नहीं होते. वो हर 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 विंडो में बेसिकली मैं तो ले भी लिया. पता नहीं आपने देखा है कि मैं तो ही इज इन फीफा टीम, बट एवरी विंडो मैन ही गेट्स लिंक्ड टू चेल्सी, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, एवरी विंडो. आर्सेनल भी हो गया इस बार तो.
Yeah, and that's the point, that Lotito doesn't sell. So when players go to Lazio, he refuses to sell. I mean, some years ago, he was rating Milinkovic Savic at 100 million. And, he could have gotten bids for 60 or 70 million at that stage. And I think that he should have done that, and reinvested that money. He's done none of that. And so, I mean, Juventus, because Pogba's gone, they are trying to get a loan for this year with an obligation for 50 million next year. So if they can pay 10 to 15 million this year, then that goes up to 60, 65 million. I think that's the best that Lazio can hope for to get out of Milinkovic Savic.
Fair enough. तो यहाँ पर यार पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लिटिल प्रेडिक्शन साइड भी. यार प्रेडिक्शन में कैसे करें भाई? एक तो फॉर्म का बता देते, तो हमने बताया इंटर मिलान तो काफी एवरेज फॉर्म रहा है इन द प्री सीजन. यस, इट्स जस्ट प्री सीजन, but they've just won one game out of 4 that they've played, which is not good at all, to be very honest. One loss be included है. Coming to Milan, of course, my club in the Serie A, भाई वहाँ पर I think Milan have looked the most impressive in terms of scoring goals. I know opposition also matters, but by Giroud has scored 3 goals already in the 2 starts that he had. I think first 2 starts, if I remember right. That's brilliant. They played Cologne, which is again not a very average team, you would say. Pretty decent, kind of a setup. Wolfsburger, they beat 5-0 away. And one loss आया है मिलान को भी. I think आज है मार्से के साथ. I think that will be a little bit more telling in terms of the form. So they've just played 3 versus Inter's 4 games. So that is the form. Juventus on the other hand, as much as I actually like by Barcelona के साथ Juventus की performance wasn't too bad. Yeah, Bremer did not really turn up. Locatelli was really good. But I think against Real Madrid, man, they need a restart button. They need something, man. Juventus are looking like really dinosaur football खेल रही है, whatever reason आप बोलोगे. Vlahovic, Fateh Vlahovic, like, are you underwhelmed with Vlahovic? I know he burst onto the scene, but what happened finally?
Yeah, I mean, I think last season, the way he came to Juve, maybe the expectations were a lot. And, he wasn't really... See, Juve, it's not just down to Vlahovic. Chiesa was injured. Where was the creativity? And then Allegri, I don't know whether, a lot of people are saying Allegri is finished. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a very good manager. So it's really surprising to see Allegri struggle. And that's the point. I mean, that's why, if Werner... Do you think Werner and Vlahovic together, like Werner on one wing, they're also being linked with Depay, by the way. So, if any of those strikers come, they sort of take, give Vlahovic that extra space to play his game. Maybe it'll be good. I mean, what do you think? Like,
It's a domino. It's a domino, by the way. It's a very good point. आपने क्या, अगर डिपाई वहां जाता है ना तो वर्नर ठहरेगा. मुझे लग रहा है, हाँ, लेकिन मोर लाइकली लग रहा है कि वर्नर इज एनीवे गोना लीव. तो वर्नर विल लीव इन माय ओपिनियन. इसलिए मैं बोला ना, it's good if he goes to Juventus, because Depay will probably not go there, and Depay can come to Chelsea, because as much as I would say that I don't want to lose Aspi and Alonso as backups at least, if not for starters as well. मतलब लग रहा है वो लोग जाने वाले. एक तो डेफिनेटली जाएगा बारसा. दोनों तो नहीं जाएंगे, एक तो जाएगा. तो it's more like a domino in terms of transfer money, in terms of movements. Werner, you know what? Like I said, 4-3-3 में he can work brilliantly, or he can work brilliantly when there are basically he plays like a shadow striker. Especially the again, no disrespect, लेकिन the way Juventus play, उनको चाहिए एक spark, or the fact that Chiesa, yes, he's coming back end of September, लेकिन we don't know how he's going to come back, right? So Chiesa kind of role he can play. He's not a typical winger, but he's more like a left forward, or basically a wide forward who can also be a second striker. I don't see him doing well in the current system though. जो आज for example खेले 4-2-3-1 system, he's not like a typical person who take a ड्राइव नहीं करेगा बॉल के साथ. He just needs ball at his feet and maybe create space and then whack एक goal मारेगा. So I think he can do it. For me, Juventus is probably the best option for him. Newcastle, भाई Newcastle में क्यों हो रहा है? Any Chelsea fans और EPL fans आप बताइए. Do you see Werner doing well at Newcastle? Yes, आप बोलोगे it's a different environment. Of course, he can do well. It's a different coach. वो लोग under Eddie Howe they are wanting to play football. But at the end of the day, yaar, it is still EPL where he's really sucked. So I don't see that happening in terms of for his benefit is not good. Real Madrid, he hardly will get starts. Juventus, at least till Chiesa comes, he'll get
Yeah,
starts. Or that is his moment. He can prove it. So
yeah,
in my opinion, that is probably best. Or he's not be a direct competitor नहीं रहेगा ना Werner अपने for a Chelsea fan also. I think for me that should be the deal. Leipzig maybe has the they are in pole position because वो Werner के साथ खेल चुकी है. That might be the only thing. But I also heard Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial also अगर सेस्को आ जाता है Manchester United, Anthony Martial might move to Juventus. वो भी है. Firmino talks were there, but I don't think that's happening. Klopp will not get rid of him.
yeah. I don't think
Pjanic को वापस इटली जाना चाहिए वहाँ. यार Pjanic, I don't know if you got a chance to see Fateh. Pjanic has done well, man, for Barca
for
in the
Besiktas.
preseason.
Okay, so he's back from
Yeah,
Besiktas.
he's back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a move that didn't work out either for Barcelona or for Juve. Arthur at Juve, he's not been successful. Pjanic at Barca didn't work out. Pjanic went to Besiktas. I think he was okay. I saw him a bit. So, but yeah, again, I don't think he can play the preseason, but I don't think Barcelona are going to be using Pjanic. I mean, they've got Kessie. I don't know about the De Jong situation right now.
Yeah,
They
because of the De Jong situation, I know he's nowhere close to De Jong. लेकिन वही he can remember Pjanic is someone who can also play in a CDM. So
Yeah.
or he's a ball playing CDM. तो वहाँ पर I know he's nowhere close to Busquets. लेकिन with the age factor, I think they might keep him rather than depend on a Nico. I'm just saying. So they might come in. Barca fans, you can comment क्या लगता है आपको? लेकिन आर्थर का नाम दिया ना. आर्थर इज बीन लिंक्ड टू आर्सेनल पीपल आफ्टर ऑब्वियसली दैट हैज हैपेंड विद पार्टे व्हिच इज लाइक शेमफुल इफ इट्स ट्रू. बट अगर होता है तो आर्थर, एनी रिपोर्ट्स ऑन आर्थर, मैन, दिस गाय इज लाइक लॉस्ट हिज करियर नो समवेयर.
I mean, there are moments where he tries to do too much at Juventus, and you just feel like, having played the simple pass or not having done, the way his game is. But yeah, he's not been impressive at all. I think, I don't know whether it's the system, whether it's Allegri, whether it's, these new coaches. I mean, Paulo first, then Allegri, and then this. I don't know whether it's all of that, but it's not worked out for him. So going to Arsenal might work out. Yeah, why not? I mean, I think that's Arsenal have a young squad, a young manager. Probably the weight of expectations is not there anymore, so that could work out for him.
Yeah, probably. Okay, Arthur is going to Valencia probably. Animesh बोल रहे हैं. और फुटबॉल क्लिक बोल रहे हैं De Jong will not move cause only 1 year is left. Let's see, man. That मतलब it's a saga that is never ending. Talk about Kunde. That's Kunde and half. But Juve don't take player with high wages as they have a cap of around 8 to 9 million euros except Pogba. Okay, very good point. लेकिन लोन पे है ना.
interesting, because just last year they had Cristiano Ronaldo at 30 million per year. So I don't know how serious this cap is. I mean, it's just very recent.
Okay,
Isn't it?
I this is basically interfan talking right
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
But yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, exactly.
लेकिन आई थिंक अगेन अगर लोन ही होगा ना, वर्नर का अगर जाता है तो लोन ही
Yeah.
होगा. टॉकिंग अबाउट वर्नर और अगेन टॉकिंग अबाउट लोन्स, यू नो दैट हाउ इट इज. 50% मे बी चेल्सी पे करेगी, 50% यूवे पे करेगी, समथिंग लाइक दैट, व्हिच इज अ बेनिफिट फॉर बोथ. मतलब मेरे ख्याल से तो आई कैन सी दैट हैपनिंग. दैट्स प्रोबब्ली जहां पर करना चाहिए. डिपाई एज मच एज ही इज गुड, मेरे ख्याल से द डिफरेंट एलिमेंट जो चाहिए ना यूवे को, आई थिंक वर्नर विल प्रोबब्ली प्रोवाइड दैट स्पार्क. एज मच एज मैं काफी क्रिटिसाइज करता हूँ वर्नर को, लेकिन वही है एक डिफरेंट पेसी कैरेक्टर हु क्रिएट स्पेस, एंड दैट इज व्हाट ही इज. डिपाई से थोड़ा बेटर उसमें, बिकॉज आई थिंक फिनिशर, I think Vlahovic is what they have to depend on, and whether you like it or not, they have to. On Moise Kean, can be a super sub. That's what I would say, right? Arthur is not suitable for UA because Allegri is like physical mids. Okay, yeah, that's also a great point. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, Rabiot not being used as a CM entire last season and used as a winger was Allegri, man. मैं तो unlike what Fateh said, मैं तो agree करता हूँ. Allegri is a little bit old school. That's no secret there. But anyway, we have to respect obviously what he's done as well. No two ways about it. अच्छा चलो यार, थोड़ा सा prediction कर लेते हैं. Everyone, people in the chat, again, do not forget to like the stream. Do not forget to subscribe to Almighty Blues FC and Almighty Sports Plus V. We are almost live daily on both the channels. Do check out our short videos as well. हम काफी content ला रहे हैं, variety ला रहे हैं. Who am I will be back this week. Yes, so watch out for that. जो draws हुए थे हमारे बहुत interesting. लेकिन talk about predictions going by the form. Come on, putting on the spot फतेह. 1 2 3 4 कर दीजिए यार सेरिया का इस वीक में. अरे निधि इन द हाउस कैसे लग रहा है?
Okay, so see, that's the thing, like the brain or the heart. Like I almost want to see Roma win the league, man, just for Jose Mourinho, just because Dybala, the way that saga unfolded, and for him to sort of say, uh, it can happen if they're getting a proper defender, if they're getting Wijnaldum, why not, man? Why not? So,
अगर वाइनल चल जाए और रोमा अगर मतलब इवन इफ द चैलेंज, मैं तो बोलता हूँ इवन इफ द चैलेंज फॉर द टॉप
challenge,
स्पॉट टिल देन लाइक हाउ लास्ट सीजन में होता ना टिल द लास्ट, आई थिंक दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग अचीवमेंट फॉर रोमा.
big
लाइक
achievement,
बट
big achievement. And see,
स्टिल
they've won a
डिफेंस.
trophy. See, no, but the confidence in that squad right now, with Mourinho, with the way, because a club that's never won in Europe wins a trophy. So maybe, maybe. So I'm just going to put it out there. Like I'm thinking that they'll get Wijnaldum. I'm thinking they'll get one centre back. And if, like you said, Spinazzola's fit, they've got Zalewski, the young kid who was so good last season. On the right, they've got Celik. Dybala stays fit. So let's bring the Scudetto back to the Eternal City.
Yeah, and again keeping Zaniolo is also key. Animesh तो
Yeah,
वही है
if they
मतलब.
keep him.
तो
If
Zaniolo is someone who can play on either wing. He can play either wing, or Pellegrini can be the player who can fit in on the left hand side. So they
I mean, this is
can.
what my heart wants. But what is likely to happen is Zaniolo moves to Juventus. They have Di Maria, Chiesa, somebody like Werner, Vlahovic, and that's just overkill. So I think my brain is telling me that Juve to win the league, Milan probably second, uh, Roma third, Inter fourth.
Wow, you heard there Inter fans saying Inter fourth. Wow, मतलब I
Yeah,
know that फतेह काफी अंडरवेल्म्ड है उनके ट्रांसफर विंडो से, लेकिन अगेन शाउट आउट है भाई मेनेस इन द मॉन्ग को. People who in case do not know menace in the monk, brilliant content creators and they know their stuff inside out, so please go and support them as well. Okay, जीतेगा ही तो AC Milan ही. अरे भाई विपरा कैसे हो भाई, मतलब as much as I would love it, I know I'm kind of calling it, maybe मैं थोड़ा pessimistic हूँ, आप बोलोगे जो भी है, like Fateh has been in this stream especially. लेकिन अनिमेश बोल रहे इंटर फर्स्ट, यूवे सेकंड, मिलान थर्ड एंड रोमा फोर्थ.
a lot
इंटरेस्टिंग.
for Milan, a lot depends on that Renato Sanches or the central midfielder they have to replace Kessie. Like I know that Kessie was not as good last year as he was previously. They've got Adli coming in from Bordeaux. I think Bordeaux got relegated, did they?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway,
I'm not sure, but
I
they
think
were in
Bordeaux
the
did, right?
relegation zone, and historic club. It's very sad. But if Girondin were relegated, is Adli that good? Tomori,
Yeah, they did.
Benacer, Adli is not a midfield that I think can sustain a league title. But if they are getting
Sanchez,
Renato Sanchez, yeah,
yeah, that is
if they are
that is the
getting
only.
Renato, yeah, then there is a real chance. And I think they were also linked with moves like Asensio on loan or somebody like that. So if all of that is happening, then why not? Then Milan will obviously do well. But if that doesn't happen, it's difficult. And I don't know about Origi, guys. I genuinely do not know about Origi
That's
being.
why मैंने तो उसको स्टार्टिंग लाइन में डाला ही नहीं है. He's never a
Yeah,
starter.
exactly.
He's never a
Yeah,
starter.
so that's going to be a problem for them then. So I think a lot depends on who comes in now. There's
But
still time left.
have you seen the OG Olivier Giroud? He is
I
looking
have.
fit, man.
Yeah, and okay, it's a World Cup year, so maybe he wants to, like, is he
He
is he
he
is he still?
deserves at least a place in the squad in the World Cup. I'm telling you, this guy is looking motivated and fit. As much as हम criticize करते हैं Zlatan still being there, just not doing anything on the pitch, but I think Giroud is an example pro, man. Example pro है भाई. मतलब even at Chelsea, I would say, even at Arsenal, I would say he's not got the credit जो वो deserve करता था. So I think in Milan, finally, probably if he's able to do this back-to-back years, में last 6 months में he did craziness वहाँ पर. तो
Yeah.
but coming back to my predictions, as much as I would like that, I would love that. Rafael Leao is a brilliant signing, kind of just keeping him. मैं जा रहा हूँ yes, totally opposite almost to फतेह. मैं जा रहा हूँ इंटर मिलान विनिंग, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है भाई उनकी फर्स्ट 11 काफी अच्छी. That's the whole point I'm making.
But
So
without Perisic, where is the creativity? Is my question, because he
so you
was.
said you said Gosens is probably not that guy, लेकिन यार it's just a form. He has that वो आ जाएगा, ठीक है, फॉर्म में आ जाएगा मेरे ख्याल से. They will still be there, and मतलब at the end of the day, you have a lot of areas on the pitch जहाँ पर आप you have better players than other in the
Yeah.
kind of
I
championship. So
mean,
that's the thing. So I'm
yeah,
pinning on.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm betting on the fact that maybe Inter Milan may not get so as many injuries, so that's why I'm kind of assuming and going with that. So Inter Milan for me first, but again it's going to be a AC Milan Inter Milan proper होने वाला fight till the end. Or AC Milan second होगी इस बार. It'll be the other way around than last season. Third, I am calling it yes Roma. Roma third, I'm calling it, and fourth, I'm calling Juventus this time. Again, Juventus, as much as Pogba has come, he will do well eventually for them. No two ways about it. Despite not doing so well in Manchester United, for him, that's what the scenery he wanted. लेकिन वही है, bad timing of injury. So the fact that he's coming back just before the World Cup does not really be ideal. And अगर आता भी है Werner or anyone, they have to change the system. Allegri is not that flexible of a manager as well. तो मुझे नहीं लगता they can actually be there. Chiesa also coming back only like couple of months from now. So that's the only reason मैं Juventus को fourth रख रहा हूँ, because of them having a lot of injuries. McKennie coming back, so they are depending a lot more on no more injuries compared to maybe an Inter Milan squad or maybe a Milan का squad. Again, I'm assuming मिलान भाई एक तो लेगी यार, या तो जियेश या तो असेंसियो, दोनों में से एक आएंगे विंग में. और आई एम होपिंग फॉर Renato Sanches. Definitely, that is something I'm hoping for. If Inter lose Skriniar and can't get Milinkovic, then they might be in a tough spot. नहीं,
See, yeah, exactly. We have to keep Skriniar. And now, that if Bremer was coming and Skriniar was going, I could understand. Now it doesn't make sense.
yeah. Roma is kind of like Sevilla. They challenged till mid, but they bottled it in the end. Mourinho is there, bhai. That
Mourinho,
second
yeah, I
season.
think,
Yeah,
and we are underrating the morale boost that trophy brought to them.
correct.
Because the whole narrative, it was a
History, yeah.
failed season, and then the narrative just changed, and you can see that one phone call to Dybala makes Dybala go there. If they are getting Wijnaldum, that's what I'm saying. Like these names, and they'll not care for the Europa League. They'll only concentrate on the Scudetto if that happens, and that's how Roma won under Capello as well. I mean, I don't know if people remember 2000 2001, but they didn't care about the UEFA Cup. They got knocked out by Liverpool. They didn't even
Mhm.
really care at that stage. It was all about the league, and Batistuta, Totti, Montea, they brought in the trophy. So that can happen. And
Yeah,
Mourinho is that sort of manager.
and again, I have gone on record saying that Mourinho is also he plays that dinosaur football. मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा. But for Serie A, again, I love the Serie A people. I'm not kind of lowering it. But for the Serie A, I think he's perfect because वो defensive mindset चाहिए. You need that, and they are scoring goals as well.
But last season, that didn't work out in Serie A. So that is why I said that this year, somewhere he also will have to sort of change. It worked in the cup competitions. We saw the way they played
Okay.
Leicester. They cancelled them out. That was
Last
fantastic
season
to see.
again, they didn't have personal, no. मतलब उनके पास they didn't have enough players. So now the fact that they've got a Matic who can be your defensive cover when they are like leading 1-0.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
telling
yeah, yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of जो करता था हमेशा मैटिच और मिकेल को लाता था though that kind of thing with maybe
yeah,
Fellaini. We remember those days, right? तो वो
yeah,
Mourinho वापस से करेगा. He did that in the cup. You said it right. Cup में it
yeah,
probably makes more sense. लेकिन I think there will be certain games वहाँ पर he'll be useful. At right back, they have a cover. I think Celik, I just mentioned it. He is a
yeah,
brilliant right back. Lille ke liye, he was impressive for me. Along with, I think I remember Chelsea जब beat की थी Lille को. It was Celik and Renato Sanches. He was at that level in terms of performance. He was at right
okay.
wing, or kind of they were interchanging a lot, right, at right wing as well. But Mike Magna will be lit this season. Bhai, I hope so.
Oh,
One
absolutely.
of the upcoming keepers, जो he will reach very top. In my opinion, he'll reach to the very
Yeah.
top. लेकिन jury is out अभी के लिए. Next final prediction यार, क्या everyone let me know who will be the MVP this season. Who will be the MVP? Of course, last time it was Rafael Leao, if I'm right. Overall, Rafael Leao थे. इस बार कौन होंगे? Or you can also tell me who will be the top goal scorer, top defender, even better. Last time defender was of course Bremer, and then we had top goal scorer कौन था last time? मैं भूल रहा हूँ यार.
In the league, Immobile, I think.
इमोबिली था ना, हाँ इमोबिली था, राइट. बट दिस टाइम क्या लग रहा है कौन होगा, एंड हु विल बी द एमवीपी ओवरऑल एज वेल, फतेह एंड एवरीवन इन द चैट?
I
लियाओ
think
अगेन. आई
Vlahovic
होप
could
सो.
be the top scorer this season.
व्लाहोविच,
Liao
ओके.
again. Let's see. Let's see. I think Vlahovic. The safe bet is Vlahovic. Or maybe do we want to go for Osimhen? I don't know, but I think Vlahovic is the safe bet. I think
And
Immobile will
very
come
very
back.
interesting to know that तीन चार नाम आ गए ले भाई लुकाकू का नाम नहीं है अभी तक
मैं
फतेह
तो नहीं लूंगा,
हाँ
मैं नहीं लेने वाला उसका नाम.
ओ
आई एम
भाई
नॉट हैप्पी.
साहब मेरे मेरे फीफा में तो बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है भाई लेकिन
बस वो उधर ही करेगा और कहीं नहीं.
Di Maria, oh, interesting. Di Maria MVP. Well, you know what? For Argentina, he's still one of the main players.
He's still
Who knows?
he's yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
again, like I said, I mean, the name that I am really interested in seeing is Quecha Kelia. I know a lot of people can't take his name, but he is so highly rated. The Georgian, is he Georgian? Yeah, I think Georgian. So I really want to see how he does, and if he's good for Napoli, that's a name for somebody for the future.
interesting. So yeah, there are a couple of Lakakas coming in just in time, but lots of Robonasis. Martinez will be MVP. You know what? Martinez will definitely, Martinez will definitely benefit. The fact that Lukaku is there, वो पता है यार वो जोड़ी है मतलब I was looking at बहुत आयरनी होनी हो जाए कि लुकाकू वापस जाए और मार्टिनेज सेल हो जाए लेकिन वो नहीं हुआ. I was actually
Thank God.
looking forward to that to be honest,
No, no,
considering
no.
the financial situation of Inter. लेकिन चेल्सी वर बहुत दयावान थी. Ankit, our majority of our players, squad players like Rashford, Sancho, Martial, Maguire, Lindelof, Dalot, of course, Phil Jones. Well, yeah, Manchester United definitely. आज थोड़ा Serie A talks कर रहे तो we didn't take so many questions on the Premier League, but yeah, certainly I agree that the squad overhaul was part of the job of Eric Ten Hag. He's slowly but surely doing it. I don't think you can do it in one window, and the fact that you have to play them to kind of understand if they can bring more in that particular system जो खेल रहे Ten Hag. So I think Rashford looks good. I don't think he's more of a squad player right now. Rashford should be a starter in the way that Manchester United are playing. हाँ प्री सीजन ही है लेकिन अच्छा लगा है मुझे तो. Martial also, well, arguably he's also looked good. Sancho really has improved towards the end of the season भी. मतलब I don't think Sancho को हमें उस bracket में डालना चाहिए. Baki, I understand. Lingard is already left. He's gone to Nottingham Forest, from what I remember, right? So yeah,
No,
that's
no.
there.
There's one name that you missed. Please concentrate on that name.
Maguire.
Yes.
I've already said on the Manchester United stream with Sadiq Bhai we did it, right? So he looked better in preseason. He's looked much better. लेकिन वो Eric Ten Hag wants to play with the ball. He wants free flowing football and all that. So I think in that way maybe he's just using him the best that he can. अब देखते हैं भाई Premier League will be a different kettle of fish. You can't really judge on preseason alone. इसलिए
Yeah.
मैंने
Yeah.
comment नहीं किया. That's why I was like leaving that alone. But Fateh caught me anyway. Fateh as an Inter fan, what was the reaction when Lukaku came back? Well, he wasn't happy. He has discussed a lot about it.
Yeah.
But I know we've spoken enough about Fateh. By the way, big up to Abhishek as well. Big up, yaar. Absolutely an almighty coach in the house. But Abhishek, आप भी अपना prediction डाल दीजिए 1, 2, 3, 4 in in order for this season of Serie A, and who's going to be your MVP as well. But Fateh, quickly here to end that question about Lukaku, if you'd like to quickly end on that and
So,
let people
you
know
know,
that why as an Inter fan you didn't like the fact how it happened.
see, I didn't like the way he left. First and foremost, we had already sold Hakimi. It seemed, in pre-season, Lukaku was playing for Simone Inzaghi. Simone Inzaghi wanted him there. He was the main guy and everything. And the moment Chelsea came, he was like, okay, I'm off. This was my dream. And so that's great. And we respected that. It sort of ruined our market because what happened was we went, Simone, and I was very surprised that Simone Inzaghi, people say he's a modern attacking coach. He went and he wanted Edin Dzeko, who was 35. We paid him huge wages, 5 million a year, 5.5, 6 million a year for his 2-year contract. And he ran Edin Dzeko to the ground. This 35-year-old guy is the guy who's playing every game. You're taking Lautaro off, Correa off, Alexis off, but never taking Dzeko off. So it was very weird, and that meant that Simone Inzaghi had prepared for Lukaku to stay. So when Lukaku goes away, then being how unprofessional the way he handled himself. I get it. You can't have a Conte where everything is based around you, but you have to work for whatever. I mean, you are a club's record signing, and so I was very disappointed in his attitude. And now that he's come back, he's saying, "Oh, I'll never leave. This is what I loved." I mean, how sad is that? Like,
Double standards,
how is,
double standards.
and and yeah, and we had the chance to get Dybala, and I thought, okay, if Simone Inzaghi, Dybala under Simone Inzaghi will do well, but again, Simone Inzaghi preferred to have Lukaku. So that means, like I'm disappointed in the coach. I'm disappointed in Inter. I mean, see, the management had to give the manager what he wanted, and he wanted that Lautaro Lukaku partnership. But I'm disappointed in this man. The
Yeah.
way he's conducted himself.
Let's see.
It's
Let's see now
really
what
bad.
happens.
And see, if he's done that to Chelsea, he'll probably by the end of his Inter career, he'll be doing it here too, throwing those tantrums and whatnot. And you don't want to see that. I mean, look, we loved him.
Mhm.
He left. He should have left properly. He loves Chelsea. He should have worked hard there. You don't just give up. So I don't know what happened between him and Tuchel, that it came out all of a sudden, and that was just not good.
Yeah, and again, thanks a lot, man. As in Fateh always, but everyone who's not checked out the beginning part, please do check it out and do not forget to smash that like. We are live on the other channel as well. अभी के लिए यार मतलब अभी के लिए we have taken a lot of questions, but always good to have you guys. And do not forget, we will be coming back with a lot of short videos because the season is beginning and a lot of other. I think हम करने वाले preview not just about this league but other leagues as well if time permits. Pretty sure I'm trying to get London kind of rivalry kind of thing going on in terms of the stream between Spurs, Arsenal, and Chelsea. So I'm waiting for that stream as well. But again, Ankit will never forgive Lukaku. Well, the fact that he's scoring goals for me in FIFA for the time being until वो season जिता दे, he's okay. But वहाँ पर भी I think if I'm not wrong, I've sold him or rather on the verge of selling. तो वो तो आने वाला है absolutely. Football का राखी सावंत Lukaku. Oh my god. Oh, that these comments are hilarious, definitely. But nice stuff यार. Again, thanks a lot, people, and don't forget to hit that like button. काफी लोग अभी भी बने हुए भाई, आप लोग जाना मत. आप लोग वापस से स्ट्रीम देखिए अगर आपने मिस कर दिया फर्स्ट पार्ट, because we have literally discussed all, like, I think probably 7-8 top teams of Italy.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot more can be discussed, but वो करेंगे हम stream में in the future as well, because it's just starting. It's just starting. Lots more to come. And till next time, take care. And of course, come on, people. Back to Chelsea and AC Milan. We need to have some signings. We need to have some signings. Get in there. Thank you.